Welcome to TMZ Live. I want to ask you something. If you had some sort of an affair in 2025 and your partner ended up, let's say, forgiving you and you got back together, would you resurrect that in 2026 out of the gate? Guess who did?
Tommy Lee's wife, Brittany Furlan, did exactly what Harvey just said, and we are trying to figure out why. Brittany Furlan, you probably heard about this, last year, believed that she was having an online relationship, interaction with Ronnie Radke, the lead singer of Falling in Reverse. And Tommy Lee found out about this, caused a lot of heartache between Tommy and Brittany. As Harvey said, they ended up getting back together because Brittany found out that she wasn't actually talking to Ronnie. Ronnie Radke says, that wasn't me, you got catfished. That should be it, end of the story, you walk away, it's a little embarrassing, and that's it. But instead...
How many days are we into 2026? 3?
6. Today's January 6th.
Oh my God.
This is easy math, bro.
How are you celebrating?
It just flew by. It just flew by. So 5 days in,
Yeah.
she decides that she has a grievance with Ronnie because she wants to prove that Ronnie was involved with her the way she was with him.
Right.
And so
she thinks she is behind what he's calling a catfish. She's saying Ronnie is
cover.
Right. Ronnie actually is the person who was having this interaction with me. And that prompted him to run to court and file to get a restraining order because he says she continues to harass him online.
Well, he says that there was a point last year where she actually went to the house that she thought he was still living in, which he wasn't.
Right.
And so he's saying to the judge, she's saying all this crap about me. She's going to my home. I want a restraining order. Now, look, the easy part of this is the judge said no because there was nothing imminent where Brittany was doing anything, and you can't curb somebody's free speech. You have civil remedies for that.
No emergency
The bigger thing is, why is she doing it? And I think it comes down to one word: pride.
Yeah. I'll tell you why she's doing this. So she's getting harassed still, and people are commenting on different social media.
Gee, what a shock.
Yeah, I know, which is for every celebrity, but they're still trolling her about getting catfish. So she decided to comment on a person's TikTok where basically by doing this, yes, it does reignite this whole story all over again. But I think this just shows that she really does deep down think that he's behind this account and that he's trolling her.
So what?
What do you mean, so what?
So what?
She got trashed, almost lost her relationship and she thinks it's by this guy.
Does this help her relationship to resurrect it and start saying, hey, I wasn't just into Danny. Danny was into me too.
Ronnie.
His name's Ronnie.
Ronnie.
I hope there's not a Danny.
Sorry
involved,
about
too.
that. Well, Ronnie was
Danny.
Danny was a catfish guy.
Was he?
I'm kidding.
No. That goes.
But also, Tommy Lee has got to be saying to her, let this go.
Right. I mean,
we went through all of this, and it became very public.
So
and then we patched things up.
So
why dredge it up?
So she's saying to Tommy Lee, he was really into me. Honestly, he was into me. It wasn't catfish. He was into me. How does that help her relationship with Tommy Lee?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Well,
how does that help their? I mean,
it doesn't help.
She had an easy out.
I don't
know. Affair.
She had an out.
Yeah, she had an easy out on the affair.
From her side, at the time, her and Tommy were separated. Their marriage wasn't going well, and so she had a moment of weakness where she thought she was having a relationship with Ronnie, which might not turns out to be Ronnie, and a random troll on Snapchat.
Whatever.
So I think her thing is this guy is like essentially kind of ruined my life.
She wants to win against this guy.
And public opinion.
And Tommy Lee becomes secondary in that sense.
Or she's telling Tommy that like this guy is the one behind the Snapchat account and they've came back together and now he just wants to see his wife's name cleared. I don't know how he feels about it.
But
I get what you're saying though. At the end of the day, she did, I guess, emotionally cheat on social media.
Does it matter to Tommy Lee? I mean, suppose it's you. Suppose you're Tommy Lee. Does it matter whether your partner was having the affair with the guy she thought she was having it with or a guy who pretended to be that guy?
No,
Does it really matter?
It wouldn't matter at all.
So then why bring this up? What is she trying to prove that's going to help her primary relationship.
All I'm saying is he filed the restraining order, and from what I hear, this might become litigious. So, like, I definitely think this is definitely not going away.
Well, I mean,
what would she possibly sue him for?
Well, I'll take defamation. And she'd lose because
she's never going to be able to prove.
Well, no, because here's why she'd lose. That if she files a defamation suit against him saying it was actually you, not a catfish guy, it doesn't matter to the jury. The jury's saying, well, either way, you were in some relationship. So what does it matter whether it's him or the catfish guy? You got involved in it, and it is what it is. So she's not going to win that. But he could sue her and say, you're trying to drag me in.
I'm sorry for starting the litigious
I know.
part.
Why did you say that?
No,
now,
it's actually that one's
we're watching the attorney argue against himself.
That one is sort of interesting.
Carol C., Sacramento, California. This goes to show that even Hollywood stars can get catfish. We need to be smart on how we approach navigating the internet. If someone like Brittany can get catfish, anyone is vulnerable to be deceived on the internet.
Well, that's a true statement. I love Sydney Sweeney, but this is ridiculous. It just is.
This is really rich coming from you, who have told us for years about your own ghost story, but now Sydney Sweeney.
My ghost story is legit.
Of course, everyone believes your ghost story is legit.
And it's a different story.
But Sydney Sweeney swears that she at least saw a ghost. She's not saying that she sees ghosts all the time. It's not a sixth sense, or it's not currently one, but she says that there was someone that she saw back in her childhood and was told by her mother that this was someone her mother actually knew.
So the idea is when Sydney was a kid, she was having images of a boy. And this is what she told, I believe, W?
Yes, W Magazine.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do. When I was little, I used to have an imaginary friend. I would tell my mom about him, and it turns out that he was someone who passed away before I was born that I didn't even know. And it like creeped my mom out. I think I was like 3 or 4 years old. So just remember he'd like be on the playground at preschool.
So if the devil is in the detail, did she just say, hey, there was this boy and he had brown hair and blue eyes, and the mother is thinking, oh, it's got to be that guy who died. So, or was she specific to a point where she would have known?
For her just to say that, and then make her mom to make that leap, But I think she was telling it in shorthand.
I know, but I'd like to know if there's enough detail that the mother could actually say, "Oh my God, you're talking about that kid,
Jimmy that I grew up with."
That's right.
And
that's right. And we didn't hear that.
I mean, but it sounds
so that's
pretty
why you
serious.
Don't believe it?
You need to convince me that there was something so specific about the kid who died that the mother said, oh my God, you're describing him.
But to Charles's point, it sounds like this was a much longer conversation because she's saying it very seriously. This was something that her mom knew exactly who this kid was, that Sydney was seeing.
Did she?
Well, that's
No,
possibly.
or did the mom jump to a conclusion?
Well, Harvey, there's many people that believe in reincarnation, and they say that usually young children have rememberings about a past life. So you would have a gift to be able to see people or to know about people where it wouldn't, in a normal world, be impossible.
It doesn't seem like Sydney has a gift, because she's not saying that this is something
recurring
that has happened, that
gift,
is recurring.
curse,
I mean,
however you
regardless
look at
of
it.
whether it is someone that her mother knew.
Right.
You're skipping the part of that she actually saw. I mean, how many people say that they've actually seen a ghost?
Imaginary friends?
You didn't see a ghost.
No,
you just saw
imaginary friends. Everybody sees imaginary friends when you're a kid.
No, nobody.
Oh, are you kidding? That's what imagination is.
Imaginary friends?
It's like everybody sees, you know this, everybody sees imaginary friends.
Okay,
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. You had imaginary friends?
No, that doesn't mean, there was actually an imaginary airplane that came down in my head, but I saw it and it never happened.
How do you know it was imaginary?
Because it didn't crash, Charlie. And
Well, you never know.
Well, it did in my brain, but nothing happened and it was not there. People imagine things as kids. They have imaginary worlds.
If-
And Sydney said she was like 3 or 4 years
Yeah,
old.
right.
So how specific can Sydney be that, oh, I think it was a guy named Jack who lived 2 doors down from... No, she didn't say that.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you
if
you
you're-
both have dogs, right?
Yes.
Have you ever had your dog like look into a corner and start barking, and you're like, what is that dog barking at? And they're seeing something that you aren't?
Yeah, because it's a dog.
Because they're
Okay.
smelling something.
Yeah.
Because the dog is smelling something that we're not smelling. It's not that puzzling. By the way, we spent all this time talking about ghosts.
She
We
was
forgot
nude.
about
She was nude in this.
Sydney Sweeney was naked.
Oh yeah.
This is the one time
That.
Sydney Sweeney being naked on the cover gets completely
blurry.
overshadowed.
Okay, alternate perspective. Sydney randomly dropping like a childhood ghost story in an interview feels less spooky and more strategic, especially when she has a horror movie out after a couple of flops. She has this habit of saying these like quirky headline grabbing things right when public controversy starts drifting back to other different things. Suddenly we're talking about like imaginary friends and paranormal activity instead of, the ongoing debates around her image or her branding, who she chooses to appeal to.
Yeah,
I mean,
there probably is strategy.
If I may put on my cynical hat again, yes, it is a fact that celebrities have to come up with stories, not saying that they're all made up, sometimes they are, when they're promoting something.
Of course.
When they go out to talk and do interviews, they got to come up with a storyline. Sometimes
We
it's
were just
real.
talking about this. This is why we love Hollywood so much.
Yeah. It's not exactly how the conversation went.
Coming up.
Well, every year it is the most glamorous location on the planet, St. Barts, the Caribbean island where celebrities going down there to party. Bethenny Frankel joined that party. Well, she says that she left St. Barts 3 days early because of a bacterial infection.
Be right back.
Well, every year it is the most glamorous location on the planet, really. St. Barts, the Caribbean island where we show you every year celebrities going down there to party through Christmas through New Year's. Bethenny Frankel joined that party this year. I'm sure she's been other years, but
Oh, there's Lauren. There's Lauren.
yeah, she was on the Bezos yacht. She's with Glenn Powell. Yeah, she was. I haven't seen. Was that that's a very famous restaurant they were at?
Alex Earl.
Then Alex Earl. Yeah.
She's hobnobbing it.
Well, for all those folks, they might be interested in how Bethenny's vacation was cut short because she posted this video showing
Whoa.
a horrific rash kind of all over her face. She says that she left St. Barts 3 days early because of a bacterial infection.
That is gnarly. And by the
Yeah.
way, I mean, I know I'm not a doctor, although I am a Juris Doctor.
As you are wont to tell
My
us.
understanding is that bacterial infections like that are contagious. And she was partying on a yacht.
Or at the very least, if you were partying with her, you got to wonder if you were exposed
Yeah,
to the
that's what
same
I'm saying.
bacteria.
Well, that's what I'm
Even
saying.
if you didn't get it directly from her,
Right.
you might have gotten it from the same place she got
But
it.
we don't know even where she got
Yeah.
it. But man, ooh, look at that.
So, yeah, not so glamorous this year in St. Barts.
We do know she got it over it pretty quickly because I talked to someone and they said I guess she got back here and she took like some kind of a topical medication.
Oh, it's gone?
It's gone.
You're
so
kidding.
she took a topical medication. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it has brought it down a lot.
Sure. A
But
topical
she's doing
medication
much
would-
better than what she looked like.
A topical medication would solve that?
If it
I
has
mean,
an
over
antibiotic
time,
in it.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it has an antibiotic in it.
Well, I mean, that just looked so
But,
intense.
Do you get that from being in like a hot tub or a pool? I mean, these yachts all probably.
have
What, you asking for a friend?
Yeah, doctor. Come on. Doctor.
Hi, I'm Catherine from Atlanta, and Bethany girl, you went from tropical to topical so fast. I have never felt less interested in going to St. Barts, but this was the perfect reminder that celebrities are just like us.
Oh, that's what you need to know? They're just like you? Bacteria?
We also don't want this
I
to
mean,
reflect.
it's a nice reminder to have when I can't go to St.
Whoa,
Barts.
whoa, 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 whoa. Do not take pleasure in Bethany's pain here. Don't say it's a nice reminder. Come on.
It's a reminder nonetheless.
Fair.
Also, this does not reflect poorly on the island of St. Barts. You were around for Beatlemania.
I
You always
was.
talk about it,
I
right?
was.
So imagine if John Lennon and the boys could not come to America to kick off Beatlemania because there were a few Instagram models who got visas instead of the Beatles.
The world would have changed.
Yeah, would completely change the world. So who knows what's happening right now, because
which band is the Beatles?
Not, which band is being overshadowed? The word that has been used is alarming. An alarming number of visas. They're called O1B visas, and they go to artists, basically. But an alarming number of those visas are going to content creators, Instagram or other social media platform like OnlyFans. Their creators are getting those visas to come work here in the U.S.
I am questioning this, by the way.
I'm
questioning the veracity of this. That there may be a law firm that represents content creators and they're working on, but the number. The overall number? We don't have the number from the immigration. And I would question that this is a thing. I mean, I know there's a story out there about it. I don't think this is a thing.
I think it's a thing that there are content creators and by the way, not all content creators are necessarily on OnlyFans. And they're not necessarily doing scantily clad adults.
That's true.
Right.
That's absolutely true. But I just don't believe that this disproportionate number of content creators, because for two reasons. One is just, you got to really show that your art is unique. And two, you can do it anywhere.
How do those hearings go down?
Yes, but
I'd like to see how those hearings go down. Let me show you my portfolio here.
Okay,
I got a good story about that.
But it's art, right? And you have to prove that it's unique, but you also, part of the criteria was a high earning a lot of money. So I would argue that a lot of these social media creators, whether it's, just regular social media content or adult content on sites like OnlyFans, they're making a lot more money than some actors,
Donald Trump has talked about
musicians.
this gold card where if you make a certain amount of money that you can get one of these visas.
Right. Sure.
So it's not peculiar to OnlyFans, it's just that's the drill that Donald Trump wants.
What I don't understand about is why do
most people don't make that kind of money.
Why do they need to come to the U.S.? I mean,
they can do it from home.
Well,
right,
why
you
does
can do
that
it from?
That could be argued with anything of why does anyone want to immigrate to
I don't
the
think
US?
that's true.
People want to immigrate here.
Because you're on OnlyFans.
If you're painting, or it could be a painter.
No, but they want to live in the United States, like a lot of people do. And so people are mad that people are going to immigrate the right way, the wrong way. It's like people are just going to be mad.
I just
They're doing it the right way with a visa.
don't believe this is a thing.
So if you're someone in a country trying to, you don't want to come in illegally, so maybe you start an OnlyFans, right?
Sure.
And then you get one of these visas to get into the country, and now you've come in legally.
Don't listen to him and go down this road, because I'm telling you, it may work occasionally, but this is not.
Are you encouraging people not to get on OnlyFans?
I'm saying no, not at all. In fact, we did. In fact, I think OnlyFans is great, but I don't think this is the way that immigration is working these days. I don't think that's the case.
Hi, I'm Jayla calling in from New York City. And I also agree, I don't know if this is actually an overarching issue that's being seen all over the country. But I think that if it is, this would be indicative of a continuous problem that we have in America where, the world and what's societally acceptable continues to evolve and our laws remain the same. So if it is an issue that continues to come up, I think it could be easily fixed by kind of reevaluating our processes and kind of having more prioritization depending on the type of work that these actors of extraordinary ability are doing.
Did you say your name is J-Lo?
Jayla. I get J-Lo a lot though.
Yeah, see, we heard J-Lo because it's close enough. But
I think what a pain in the ass if your name is J-Lo and you go, oh, no. Although, restaurant reservations.
Coming up.
If you're in a mom group or a dad group on social media, there is one topic you are probably talking about, and it has to do with a post that a guy named Justin Murphy put up about spending time with his kids. And it has sparked a huge debate among parents.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexha was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. Well, if you're in a mom group or a dad group on social media, there is one topic you are probably talking about, and it has to do with a post that a guy named Justin Murphy put up about spending time with his kids. And it has sparked a huge debate among parents because he said, "Am I just a monster? It's been 4 years since I became a father, and I'm beginning to fear for my soul. The truth is, I just don't like being around kids for very long. Historically, this is not uncommon among fathers, but today it feels almost illegal. It's causing me a lot of confusion and anguish. He goes on to say that basically if he's down to like hang out, entertain his kids for about 10 minutes.
10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day.
And after that, after about 10 minutes, his blood starts to boil. It feels like he's not getting stuff done. He'd rather be working and accomplishing things. He doesn't feel like spending time with his kids is fulfilling that. So, on the surface, you read that and go, that guy's horrible. He shouldn't be a parent.
But then on the other side, you look at it and say, God, that guy's honest.
Mm-hmm. He's honest and probably not alone. Joining us now to talk about this is Dr. Shefali. Welcome back to TMZ Live. By the way, her podcast, Parenting and You should check out. And what do you think about what Justin had to say here, Dr. Shefali?
Well, lots of things. So let me just quickly recap. Number one, I applaud him for being honest. This is a taboo topic. We're not allowed to say this because people often assume that the minute you have a child, you're going to be paternal or maternal. Now, the thing with children is you don't know how you're going to be and you can't return them. So this is something many people experience, and not everyone, and this is controversial, is supposed to be a parent. Not everyone is maternal or paternal. He doesn't sound like he is not performing his responsibilities and his duties. He's being honest, and shaming him, canceling him is not the way. He's experiencing the anguish. He understands that there is a disconnect in him. Now, listen, many boys were raised to do much more than girls. You know, it's part of the cultural conditioning to achieve, and it's part of their biological DNA to pursue, to be adventurous, to be external. So being with children requires a different set of skills, which many struggle with, especially men, because they weren't allowed or taught or encouraged to be with their feelings, to be in this non-achieving state that children can take you on. But the first place to start is through acceptance. And shaming him or criticizing him or letting him feel like he's a monster is not the way.
Well, but I want to stop you there. I agree with you because he is being honest. At the same time, you know, it's sort of like child support, that if you get a woman pregnant, you're on the hook for about 18 years. And that's just the law. So when somebody has a kid, they may feel the way you're saying, and they're being honest about it. But they also kind of have the responsibility,
there's no getting around that,
to raise the kid.
Right. Well, the deeper issue is that he needs to understand why he cannot do this, why his rage shows up. And that is the deeper work. So this is the invitation. This is the portal. So many people are just acting like him, but not owning it. He's taken the first step. He's owning it. And now he needs to be invited to do the deeper exploration, to develop the skills, to understand why he has such a short range of patience and connection. This is probably to do with his own upbringing, partly with his wiring, and that he may just not be a paternal guy, but he can learn the skills. And this is the first step. I think this is impressive and amazing. And if we shut him down and just go, you know, you're so bad, that doesn't serve anybody.
But how in the world can you possibly, I know we don't want to shame him, and I'm not trying to, but I don't understand how you could effectively parent if you can only stomach it for 10 minutes at a time.
Oh my goodness. I have worked with parents, the most loving maternal, paternal parents, who also go through phases where they cannot stomach their children, not because of the children, because their past is showing up in the present. So this person is very workable, and he can learn the skills, and he can understand what's showing up for him in the moment. He can learn to regulate himself. He can learn to extend his patience. I have trained, worked with, educated, taught parents to become better. And I've taught myself how to be better. So there's absolutely no issue with him learning these skills. He just needs to want to, and then do the work.
Well, okay, let's say you try, but you're not going to succeed every time. And it's just somebody who can't stand the noise of being around small kids. But as the kids get older, he may actually connect more when they are more functioning human beings. And it could be that this is a phase of parenthood where the father just can't connect, but over time, he does.
Many fathers, and this is studied in the research, often do worse when the kids are more nonverbal, the kids are not buddies, they can't do much. Many men have a hard time in that phase. And again, that's partly due to when they were young, they were not taught to be with themselves. They were taught to do. When the children grow older and they become more doers, typically fathers can ease into that. But they need
Could
help.
that be like 35?
Yeah, like 660. Yeah, when they're at the end of their life. No, it will happen, but we need to have patience and allow men to have these vulnerabilities, and we can't bash them because they are showing up differently in their parenthood than we are. This is not about a competition or a judgment. This is about deeper evolution and trying to become better. And I've had many women who are very maternal do worse than fathers who are not so paternal. So it's not about the, wanting. It's about the skill level and the ability to regulate your emotions.
Huh. Interesting.
All right.
It's really interesting.
It is very interesting. And thank you so much, Dr. Shefali.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, always great to talk to you.
Coming up.
Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban actually do get to have a completely fresh start for the new year because their divorce is now finalized.
That was fast.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban actually do get to have a completely fresh start for the new year because their divorce is now finalized.
That was fast.
We broke the story back in September. They filed their divorce documents, and remember, that was just like a few days after we found out what was going on in their relationship, that Nicole suspected that he was cheating and that there was a whole...
it was a whole thing.
It was a whole thing that went down. But when they turned in, they had hammered it all out, and that was the other thing that they had been
clearly
talking about it for months.
They had been working on it for a long time.
But in the final documents that the judge signed off on, there was one small difference from what they had originally filed back in September, which has to do with child custody. And I guess maybe this has to do with Keith's schedule, but basically their kids are going to be spending more time, even more time with Nicole than they had originally planned, even though she was getting the lion's share of that.
It doesn't look like it was acrimonious, though. It looks like this was a
It wasn't acrimonious because they both signed off on it and never went to trial.
So he, as a musician, his schedule is obviously less predictable than hers is. She knows what rules she's going to take. She carves out time. He, on the other hand, is on the road.
And again, the kids are, for most of the time, going to be with Nicole. Now the number is 306 days out of the year that they're going to be with Nicole.
So it's really more like he has visitation. I mean, that's effectively
what it comes down to.
It's really interesting. Oh, by the way, this doesn't, just because they agreed to this, doesn't mean everything's kumbaya, because it doesn't feel like this was a kumbaya divorce.
They had the divorce part of it, they did kumbaya just to get it done.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that between them in real life.
It also doesn't mean this is going to be the situation forever, right? He can come back and want 50-50 custody.
Yeah, they can always go back.
If his schedule sort of calms itself down a little bit, they might have.
It's interesting because this is Tennessee, and they basically had to wait 3 months to make this happen. In California, it's 6 months.
6 months, right.
So, I mean, the reason they do that is they want to make sure that it sticks.
It's a cooling off period.
It's a cooling off period.
You're really pissed off when you file, and you have some time to think about it.
Although 3 months makes more sense than 6 months.
It really does. How long does it take you to cool off?
6 months. I mean, you could cool off and say, hey, we're going to get back together, and then divorce again.
Exactly.
3 months is good.
And especially in California, this is Hollywood. You could get married and divorced 3 times in that period of time.
It's true.
Hi, Lily Wales. And my comment, I think the whole thing is a little bit thin, but when she divorced Tom Cruise and there was the photo of her outside the courthouse and she was super happy, is there a chance that we would get something like that again?
You're from Wales?
Yeah.
Convince me why I should go to Wales. Because
forget about Nicole.
I'm always fascinated by
sell us
I'm
on
serious.
Wales.
Sell us on Wales. Got 30 seconds.
I think, definitely the biggest part is the castles. There's castles everywhere, which isn't something that you get to see every day, but there's literally one like 10 minutes down the road, which I find it really cool because obviously that's not typically normal.
Now, do we have access to those castles, or are we going to be kicked out if we,
No,
I know there are a lot of castles, but are they, Are they open to
Oh
the
yeah,
public?
no, a lot of them are like functioning businesses and they let you do tours around the castle. Like they do tickets and everything. So you don't get kicked out. You can tour the castle, you can see where the families lived, what was going on at the time. You get like the whole history. It's a whole thing.
I know what you're thinking.
No,
Airbnb.
You know what?
You want to be able to
Can I
rent
tell
it.
you what I'm thinking? Honestly, I'll do this fast. I went on a vacation once in England on the countryside, and we were
You're in
with
the
some people.
Cotswolds, weren't you?
Yeah, and we were with some people, and this guy, one of the people we were with, and I were inside this castle at about 5 or 6 in the evening, and we're walking around, and all of a sudden we realized they've closed the doors. The castle is closed, and we couldn't get out. And we're just roaming around, and we're banging on doors trying to get out. I swear to God, this happened for like an hour. It was like night at the museum, and they have this big dining room thing for the king and everything. So we're sitting at the table and pretending like it was hysterical.
Someone lower their drawbridge, please. I think your Outa campaign is catching on with some people, some influencers.
Good, because I'm all fired up about it. So.
About getting, if you missed the last few months, Harvey's been on a rant about getting rid of everybody in Congress.
Everybody.
This started back during the shutdown.
Every single person.
Right.
And I feel stronger about it now than I did then.
And when you brought this up, I said, well, who's going to step up? You're going to need a whole hundreds of new people to fill those seats.
Right.
Podcaster and influencer Trisha Paytas says she is ready to become the next member of Congress.
Challenging who?
She's going to run in California. I don't know if she's figured out.
Well, they've redistricted in California, so who knows?
Don't know what district she'd be in, but she says she's going to be
in the Westlake area, which is Southern California.
Westlake Village, so yeah. Well, here's what she said about her campaign. She's not going to do this the traditional way, but she thinks she's got a shot.
Currently Googling how to run for Congress in California 2026. The idea of me being representative for the state of California came to me in a dream, in a vision, if you will. It's so vivid to me. My main goal is to make it adult work, not be legal until you're 25. That's one, but I have so many other agendas. And I really think my slogan for running will just be like, California could be good. It could be good.
How about
California
not
could be,
running
not
with
eating
food in your mouth?
It's
although,
like, hey, listen, it's worked for Brad Pitt in most of his roles. He's always eating.
Did not work at all for me. But
it makes, the problem with the eating, it just makes it kind of look like you're
It's a joke.
Not really.
It's a joke.
Taking it
No,
seriously.
she has my vote. I think Trisha Paytas
based
would
on
do
what, Alexa?
based
No, but
on everything.
The fact that she likes this is interesting.
Yeah, Trisha Paytas has been an absolute icon in the Gen Z pop culture world for maybe the past 10 years.
Look at what happened in New York City.
Yeah, she's done Beetlejuice on Broadway now. She's gonna be on Euphoria's next season. She was on Watch What Happens Live as the bartender guest. Like, she is everywhere. I would not be shocked if she won the votes.
Gopher from Love Boat, Congress. Sonny Bono, Congress.
Right.
Fred Thompson,
I'm
Senate.
not saying that she's
Ronald Reagan.
It's not about her being qualified, but I think you do need to put out to the people something more about her. So she said, no adult work until you're over 25.
Which
adult
is very
work.
interesting because Trisha's known.
She's referring to like adult films.
Yeah, or like sex work. Like
Okay,
she
sex work. All right, no
was
sex
in
work
that
until
industry for a
25.
really long time.
And then what about her campaign slogan?
California could be good.
It could be good.
It could be.
Well,
with
there are
Trisha.
people who think it's not right now.
Exactly.
California.
By the way, I just want to say this, that all these Congress people are belly aching about Donald Trump did this, and Donald Trump is violating the law doing that, and Donald Trump didn't have a right to invade Venezuela, and Donald Trump doesn't have a right to run it.
Okay.
When is Congress going to have the balls to stand up if they really believe that and do something about it? That's why we need to get rid of all of them.
That's why we need Trisha
sitting there,
Paytas.
and all they do is bitch and moan. Then do something about it.
Hey, I'm Cheyenne from Florida, and I totally agree with you guys. This is getting ridiculous that these people in Congress are doing nothing to stop Donald Trump.
Nothing.
And she actually wants to do something. When you watch this video, she has real motivation. She's not a politician. She wants to fix the world for her children. And honestly, She has my vote.
2 votes in 3 minutes.
Well, she's in Florida, so that one's not going to work.
Okay, well.
So we're back at 1.
Although the re-election could be rigged and it could be 2 votes.
Coming up.
Gwyneth Paltrow is addressing the phrase conscious uncoupling. Right. Well, turns out that might have cost her a job.
Because I was getting a divorce and then I got fired off, so it was so awesome.
And you're like, oh, sorry that my divorce is bothering you.
Yeah, sorry.
Be right back.
Gwyneth Paltrow is addressing the phrase that I think still comes to mind first when you think about Gwyneth Paltrow.
I think goop.
Goop, actually, you're right. Goop. And then after that, it's conscious uncoupling. Right. Which is how she described her divorce from Chris Martin. Well, turns out that might have cost her a job. This is what she told Amy Poehler on the Good Hang podcast.
You know, I was supposed to do a movie at one point and it was like right after the kind of conscious uncoupling thing with Chris, and there was like a lot of harsh stuff in the press. And I think the distributor was like, this might be too hot to touch.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They were like, we don't need the heat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was great because I was getting a divorce and then I got fired off. So it was so awesome.
And you're like, oh, sorry that my divorce is bothering you.
Yeah, sorry.
I love this because it's just such a window into the BS of Hollywood,
right.
that they are scared of their own shadows in this city. And they have a bunch of people sitting around a conference table saying, oh, but she said this. And she said conscious uncoupling. Okay, a lot of people thought it was ridiculous. And some people thought it was evolved.
And even she admits that it may have been.
Okay, but so what?
It was.
It's like, so what?
It was ridiculous,
So,
Harvey.
okay, so I say ridiculous things too. You say ridiculous. Everybody says ridiculous.
That's right. And guess what? If you went to go try and get a job, it would probably cost you a job.
No, this would
Luckily
cost
for
me
you.
the job.
Right.
But that wasn't
because you say ridiculous things here.
It wasn't the split that caused the problem that they thought that she would be, just not right for the film. It was the conscious uncoupling was so cringe.
Okay, so what?
People couldn't stand
it was cringe.
So,
and even she admitted to Amy that it was condescending.
It was okay. It was condescending.
It was pompous.
Okay, she didn't make a racist comment. She wasn't talking about anything anti-Semitic. She made a comment about her marriage, and the people around this stupid studio conference table don't hire her for the movie.
Because she had to sound smarter than everybody else in the room, and people got sick of it.
So what? Why can't Gwyneth Paltrow get a job because she used a phrase?
It seems like Gwyneth has landed on her feet and she's gonna be okay.
Yes.
Didn't you love her in Marty Supreme?
I loved her in Marty
embrace
Supreme.
that moment.
I
Calm
loved
down.
her
I
in
am
that
unconsciously uncoupling
movie.
this
I love
discussion.
her in that movie.
Hi, I'm Amber Catherine. I'm in Georgia, and I agree. It's because it was cringy.
So what?
It was because, it's very on brand for Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes.
It's on brand now.
It's on brand then. It was on brand then. That's who she is, right?
I don't believe her. I don't believe that they fired her for that. I think that if they didn't want to use her for the movie at that point, it's because it was embarrassing because the whole world was making fun of her. And rightfully so. And in 2014, if I'd had a TikTok, I would have parodied it because it was so stupid.
Coming up.
Spencer Pratt can't get no satisfaction when it comes to Governor Newsom and Governor Newsom's text records, his text messages from a year ago when the Palisades fire was raging. What Spencer specifically requested, he says, has been rebuffed by the governor's office.
Be right back.
Spencer Pratt can't get no satisfaction when it comes to Governor Newsom and Governor Newsom's text records, his text messages from a year ago when the Palisades fire was raging here in California.
Gosh, it was just almost a year to the day.
Yeah, and you know, of course, that Spencer Pratt and his wife Heidi lost their home in that fire, and he has been on a mission, like millions of other victims of those fires, to get some satisfaction from the government. Now, what Spencer specifically requested, he says, has been rebuffed by the governor's office. So he posted a letter that he got back from the governor's office, basically telling him, you can't get those text messages. And Spencer said, who actually believes that Governor Gavin Newsom has no records responsive to this request for text messages regarding the Palisades between January 6th and January 9th? So he wanted to know exactly any text messages that the governor had sent or received about the fires during those dates.
So
he's told they don't have those records.
I mean, Spencer is, the thing is, he's prosecuting history. And the real issue right now is just there are problems with the rebuild. I mean, it has gone really slow. A lot of people are really suffering. And I just feel like Spencer is in the grips of all the crap that happened that caused this in the first place. Right. And he's right about that.
Well,
he's right.
And he and Gavin Newsom had really been feuding the entire time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really.
So I definitely agree with you guys. Initially, when all of this started, I was extremely sympathetic to Spencer as well as his plight. But I do think as time has gone on, he started having more of an interpersonal battle with Gavin Newsom and making this a thing of their own personal beef.
That's a fair assessment. That's a really good assessment. What else you guys want to talk about?
Hi, my name is Mikey. I'm from Colorado Springs, and I'm talking about Sydney Sweeney's W magazine cover. She talked about seeing ghosts when she was younger, and I think from a young age, we all kind of have seen ghosts, especially younger eyes, like dog eyes and underdeveloped eyes. They don't see the world quite the same way that we do. So it's definitely possible. I've definitely spooked myself out when I was younger.
Daniela, stay on Mikey for a second. Babcock, turn around. How jealous are you of Mikey's hair?
Look at
how jealous are you
lift
of Mikey's hair?
To be honest?
Yeah, I want you to be honest.
Yeah, it looks good, Mikey.
Thank you so much.
Okay, one more.
Bethenny Frankel, the bacterial infection that she got from St. Barts is insane. I mean, we're talking about somewhere that is a millionaires and billionaires playground. The last thing you want to come home with is a bacterial infection.
I'm dying
what
to
a great
know
day to
the
be broke,
source.
guys.
Yeah, I'm dying to know the source, too.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Coming up.
For the sake of the audience, for my sake.
What are you talking about?
We're going to talk about Valentine's Day for just a moment. It is coming up.
It's not coming up.
It is coming. It's just over
more than a month away.
It's 5 weeks away, all right? So you got to get ready. And Rihanna is here to help us.
Be right back.
Please, for the sake of the audience, for my sake.
What are you talking about?
We're going to talk about Valentine's Day for just a moment. It is coming up. So you got to get ready, and Rihanna is here to help us.
Well, that's good.
This is what. So Rihanna is, getting everyone in the mood.
Does she look good or what?
Now, this is not just Rihanna looking hot, which it is that, but she's hawking Fenty lingerie and just reminding folks that as Valentine's Day approaches, you might want to buy something, might see something you like here that you want to buy for a loved one.
It must be great owning a company and knowing you're the hottest model that you can use to push your wares.
You don't need to go pay.
You don't need to pay a big supermodel.
It's much like when Oprah and her magazine, she just put herself on the cover.
Right. I mean, it's sort of the same thing.
Kinda.
Only Valentine's here. See you tomorrow.
Yes, indeed.